Hello, beautiful patrons. Courtney here. So I'm not sure if I'm going to release this to the general population as well, but y'all are getting it first. But who knows? Maybe I'll throw it in the mix later for YouTube in case I need some extra videos. Beloveds, I know you've been waiting and anticipating the video and class about dreams. This came about because some people asked about dreams. And I put it off. Which it's lovely that the holidays were in the mix, and I could use that as an excuse to put it off, to tell you the truth. Um, because, well, we're talking dreams. That's a pretty big topic. Pretty big. So today, after I laid out all my notes, um, it is what I thought it was. It's actually so big that this is probably going to be a two-parter. We need to be able to digest this stuff. And then also looking after my notes, decided that what I put at the end of everything is actually going to be part one, what I deliver to you, because it's the how. When my notes originally and how I deliver things, I present the why first. And this is in no disrespect, but it's because I'm a little less westernized. Meaning, westernized thoughts are they really want the how first. How do I get it done? How do I do this? How do I get that certificate? Opposed to the why first. And if you've noticed, usually when I answer questions, deliver anything, why it takes me forever to get to the actual answer is because I'm always presenting the why first. And I decided today to treat y'all to the how first. Okay? Things that you can ask yourself. Journaling different aspects, how to communicate before you fall asleep. The how. How do I get this done? And then part two will probably be the why. What's really going on with that dream? What's really going on with different spiritual gifts of dream workers? So you're getting all the how. All right, beloveds, let's get into it. I bring that up because, yes, you'll get a lot of information through this video. And in the email, the private email, I will also put in a list of questions that you can utilize for yourself. Here's the thing. Start with this, and then when you get part two, which will probably be a live show where you'll just hear me rant about all the whys, what's really going on with the subconscious, all the beautiful gifts, you would have already started the journey of connecting with the subconscious more so. Hopefully. Hopefully. So, good day, good evening. Whenever you're catching this, it's for you all. This part one, we're going to talk about how to connect with your dreams, which in return is connecting more with your subconscious. Part two is we're definitely going to be talking more about the subconscious. But as many of you know, your subconscious, as even Edgar Casey will speak about, is where all the fun stuff is at, I guess you would say. He spoke about how that is your access to the Akashic Records, how that is your access to what people refer to them, their higher self. That is your access to all things, right? The subconscious. And so in every video that may or may not come out about this stuff, I want to remind people, please respect your subconscious. You're going to learn how to work with it, not against it. Also, respect the fact that it's got jobs to do that it's doing on your behalf. Your subconscious cares ultimately about you. Your subconscious cares the most about you. Your conscious mind can be a liar and a manipulator and all sorts of jazz. Your conscious mind The one that goes to work and reads the reports and goes to the grocery store and does all this stuff, your conscious mind can lie a lot. A lot. To levels and degrees that most people aren't even aware of. The subconscious, though, always has your back, always cares about your greatest good. So we want to give it respect and we want to learn how to communicate with it. We want to learn how to appreciate its job in reference to dreams. So, how do we begin that communication? How do we begin the journey into utilizing our subconscious for our conscious living? Because there can come a time where your subconscious and your conscious, they're one and the same. They don't have to be quote unquote separate. So, first and foremost, as anyone out there is going to tell you, journal. Journal. Journal your dreams. If you woke up and you can remember them, write them down. And hey, journaling does not need to be that you write them down. I had a pocket in my life where something hit me real hard, real hard, and to the point that I stopped going to work. I didn't really get out of bed. Stopped eating. I'm just saying it was one of those. Lost everything. And I decided at some point, well, geez, if I'm laying here sleeping so much, maybe I should use the dreams that I'm having to get me out of this. But I also knew that I didn't really want to get up and just write them down. I needed to get up, right? Fully kind of get up out of bed to help myself. And so I decided that I would draw them. So I put a bunch of colored pencils and a big pad of, drawing paper, like outside of my bedroom. So I would actually get up, start drawing, maybe have some coffee. Like I would physically get moving, but also take that quiet space that I needed, to process. So journaling does not necessarily have to be that you're writing them down. It could be if you're so inclined to use your phone real quick and jot notes. It could be you have an actual dream journal. It could be that you want to draw it. It's just a way to process and record what's being done and said and what have you in your dream. And here's the thing is a lot of times when people hear, journal them, they think that they have to jump right into interpreting them. Not necessarily. Not necessarily. There was plenty of things that I drew that I was like, I don't know what the hell this means. Not at that time, right? So it can just be that you're recording them in some way. Okay? So do that in any way, shape, or form that you think is great. You could hit a recorder on your phone and verbally tell your dog or cat about your dream, and that's a way to record it. So I'm saying there's many options. So when you hear people out there say like journal, dream journal, just retell yourself in some way, shape, or form and get it somewhere physical that you can return to. That's it. That's it. Figure out what works best for you. Just what works best for you. Could even record yourself. You know how everybody does shorts? Well, start doing dream shorts. Something like that. You can do whatever you want. But that is your best way to kind of move forward at the beginning. Now, what if you're one of those people that you don't really remember your dreams? Like, you think it probably happens. You're sure that you slept, and you're thinking, yeah, my subconscious loves me enough that I probably dreamt, but I don't remember any of it. Well, then, before you fall asleep, communicate with your subconscious. Tell your subconscious that you request and you require to remember your dreams when you wake up. And here's the clincher to working with your subconscious right before you sleep, because you can also use this technique, by the way, if you're trying to work through any kind of self hypnosis to remove anything, really. Like, let's say you have a bad habit. You eat way too much ice cream every night, whatever it may be. Let's say you have a bad habit. You can use this technique to really get the subconscious to listen to you. Remember, everything's built on relationships and communication. So we don't just tell our subconscious once, hey, I request this. I request to receive my dreams. I request to remember my dreams when I wake up. No. Because the subconscious is like, do you know how much I take in? Do you know how much I hold? Like, I gotta work with me, right? So you can use a technique, and there's different techniques, but this is one. You use your fingers as you're laying in bed. I will remember my dreams when I awake. I will remember my dreams when I awake. I will remember my dreams when I awake. I will remember my dreams when I'm awake. Because when you're touching your fingers like that, that stimulates everything, right? That gets the whole mind, body, all of it connected. I will remember my dreams when I awake. I will remember my dreams when I awake. And you just keep doing that until you fall asleep. Really beautiful self hypnosis. If you need it for what you want, I will not eat ice cream every night. I will not eat ice cream every night. I will not eat ice cream every night. Isn't that wild? There's a little trick to the trade if you don't know much about hypnosis. Everybody can do self hypnosis. So, when you are falling asleep, right, and you're telling your subconscious, hey, I, I really do want to remember. Don't just throw it out there as this flat, hey, you're building that relationship. And every time you're doing something like this, you're telling it so. I am connecting all of me to what I'm requesting, right? So repeat, repeat, repeat. You can also, here's the thing. If you can get to that point, let's say you can get to that point, that you've used a little bit of self hypnosis to communicate with your subconscious, right? Repeat, repeat, repeat. And if heck, you don't do your fingers the whole time, then you need to at least repeat it by the power of three, right? Hey, subconscious, I want to remember my dreams when I awake. And even not even want, but I will remember my dreams when I awake. Sorry, I will remember my dreams when I awake. I will remember. Right. So at least repeat it 3 times, right? Remember the power of three in communication? So there you go. Once that has started to happen, though, like, um, you got way more days of remembering your dreams and putting them down in journal form of some way, shape, or form, which your subconscious is acknowledging that you're doing that. So it's going to work with you a lot more than before. Because it's like, oh, they really do want this. Okay, I'm going to give them what they want. Your subconscious is serving you all the time. And it's definitely serving you when you sleep. It's serving you even more so when you sleep. So when it physically, or it sees that you are doing something, that you are committed to communicating with it in its best form of communication, it's going to start working with you. So let's say you get to that point, that out of any standard week, you are actually now remembering your dreams 4 or 5 times a week, opposed to maybe once, maybe never, right? You built your way up because there is now this beautiful, and beloveds, every night do that. I will remember my dreams when I awake. You see what I'm saying? Do it every night. You don't just do it once and then expect results. So, after that's kind of been more, you're noticing that you're remembering your dreams, you're writing them down, that should be more proof that your subconscious is working with you, right? And showing up for you because you're putting it out there and you're demonstrating to it that, hey, I do want this. Well, then you can kind of add to what you say to your subconscious in the night before you fall asleep. And that's when you add subconscious, guide me with what I need right now. Or subconscious, show me what I still need to heal. Subconscious, whatever it may be for you, show me what my authentic self looks like. Show me how to handle this situation in my life currently. You can start putting more requests out there. And the subconscious is like, yes, you finally understand what my position here is. Thank you. I've been quite neglected for too long. You're completely letting me do my job. Awesome. Thank you. And like I said, part 2 is really going to be explaining what the subconscious is even more so. So this might seem a little tongue-in-cheek, it's got a pretty mighty job. And like I said, it is all to benefit you. It cares solely about you. It is the ultimate that loves you. So, with that being said, you first go from, okay, however I want to journal. Like I said, for all of you beautiful artists out there, if you want to just sketch a picture, awesome. For you guys that are more tech inclined, do it techie. For those that actually want to write it out, beautiful. What have you? Once that's kind of in place by self-hypnosis, talking to your subconscious, that before you fall asleep, then you can shift it into more of a, hey, subconscious, help me with this. I need guidance with this. Okay? Then, based on those dreams, well, that's going to be a lot more part 2 as far as like spiritual gifts, because one of those spiritual gifts is actually interpreting. But let's talk about things that you can use within that frame, questions that I'm going to lay out for you that can actually say a lot. Okay? So, and at the end of this, I will talk a bit about lucid dreaming. Okay? I will. That is more advanced than where we are right now, but at the very end of it, I'm going to talk a bit about lucid dreaming because I know there's people in this community that already have that going on, and that's beautiful. Well, then let's learn how to use it even more so, right? So, imagine that you are journaling. And in the morning, because everybody's got a life to live, you just jot down some stuff that can, kind of help you remember later when you go back to look at your dreams, right? So these are some questions for anybody that's new to dream work, or even you think you've been doing it for a long time, which I'm sure you have. Some are just very natural at this. But this is for everyone, okay? So, some questions, and I got quite a bit here, and I said I will type this up for you. And this is for when you go back and review your dreams. And you can do this for a singular dream, or maybe you could do it at like Sunday night at the end of the week of recording all your dreams. I'm going to have a nice cup of tea and I'm going to look at my dream journal, go back through my week, and I'm going to have these questions all, with me as I kind of look and review at things. Okay? So, one question: are you a participant or a viewer of your dream? Okay. What that means is, are you a participant, as in you're dreaming and you're seeing everything as if you were seeing them in with your natural eyes that you use throughout the day? Like you're viewing them, you're viewing your dreams in what would be considered first person, right? First person. Like I'm just watching. I'm watching all this stuff, right? So are you viewing? Are you a viewer? Or are you more like a participant, as in think third person point of view, that you're watching whatever's going on in your dream? It could even be kind of close, but you're watching your own self pick this up, have, do this movement, do that movement, run. You're watching yourself run, right? You're watching yourself. And sometimes it can be a bit of a mixture of the two. Kind of like, let's say you're driving a car. You might just be witnessing your hands in a way, but you're witnessing everything around you, but you also see, like, you kind of move in and out of perspective. Like, first you're seeing your hands as a viewer and everything around you because you're driving in a car. But then all of a sudden something happens and you witness yourself from third point of view as you jump out of the car. And then something happens that you're back in your view of, like, oh, you're pinpointing what's going on around you. It can move in and out. But this is why we record. Because it is good to know how your subconscious likes to present things to you. So are you more often a viewer? You are viewing things from your first person point of view. Are you more like a participant with a third person point of view? Right? What is more often than not? Because that's key to understanding how your subconscious wants to help you. Are you able to physically move and do things in your dream? Are you capable of doing that, or are you just kind of a passerby? You see a lot of things go on, and it's like, oh man, I wish I could do something about this, right? But it's hard for you to pick things up. It's hard for you to move things. It's hard for you to, like I said, drive that car. We need to know. Are you able to communicate in your dreams, or how do you communicate? So this is usually in two different ways. It could be full on like dialogue, how you and I would communicate on the phone or communicate in person, back and forth between you and another. Or you're hearing communication between others, right? How does the communication operate within your dreams? Or like, meaning you can hear it's active. Okay, let's say it that way. The communication, it's definitely verbal, right? Or is it just like a knowing? Is it just a knowing that there's not really lips moving, there's not really action, there's not really sound, not really verbal. It's just a knowing. Like everybody involved in the dream just comprehends. All the communication is just through comprehension. Pay attention. Something we need to look at. And well, I'm going to skip this question till the end. I apologize. Do you have nightmares more often than not? And if so, how do you respond in those nightmares? Do you have nightmares more often than not? And if so, how do you respond? The next question is also going to be what type of nightmares? We really do need to know this. So, are you having more nightmares than more, oh, it's just a dream? It's just a dream. Or even good dreams. I mean, how often are we having good dreams, right? Uh, and is it one of those kind of repetitive nightmares? Is it, are you constantly running? Are you constantly running away from something? That's what I'm asking about the response. Are you fighting? Are you screaming at people? What's the response to these quote unquote nightmares? So this goes hand in hand with the next question. What type of nightmare? Because there are the scary type of nightmares of like bloodshed everywhere and you are running from Freddy Krueger and all this kind of stuff, right? There's scary ones like that. There's also just really intense confusion nightmares. Oftentimes, this could be you're lost in a really bad location, you keep trying to get out. Or for me personally, that's usually I'm trying to get to someone, and it's like everything I'm doing just can't get me to them, right? Like I'm turned this way, and then I'm turned that way, and then I'm all over across the board, and all I really want to do is get to this person, right? That's a nightmare. Is it, well, some are most common of like bathroom situations or naked in front of public speaking or kind of some standard ones of, you really got to go to the bathroom and there's no bathroom around. You're just running around looking for a bathroom. Or the bathroom, once you get there, is like the most disgusting humanness ever. And it's like, oh my God, how do I do this within all this? Like, how do I. That's a nightmare. So there's different types, right? Those are all different examples of different types. Are you running from a serial killer? Are you searching for something and you can't get to it? Or vice versa. You're lost and confused and somebody can't get to you. Um, all sorts of different things. Are you tied up? Are you naked in public? In public? Are you, every bathroom you're trying to get into is covered in disgust? Um, Horrible accidents, terrible falls. I mean, the list goes on. Some of them can be just extremely just heart wrenching, right? Just it's more of a heart wrenching than a killer type of nightmare. A heart wrenching aspect. Deceased loved ones are doing all this stuff, um, or uh, old habits, behaviors are back into play at the utmost in this dream. You and everybody around you is doing the stuff that you choose not to do anymore, but yet it's present in that dream to a scary level, right? That it feels so real. That's a nightmare. So let's start at least identifying um, if something is a nightmare or not. And it's based on how are we responding? How are we responding? Like, take the scenario that I just said that let's say I haven't done drugs in God forever, but let's say I have a dream out of no, well, and it'd probably be drinking to tell you the truth. It'd probably be a drinking dream with me. But I am capable of having some random drinking dream to the point that I mean it feels so absolutely real. All the chaos that would ensue, all the good times that would happen, all the laughter, all the heartache, all the complex human stuff would all happen within this dream as I'm drinking. And the whole time there's something like saying, hey, don't do this. Or something that says, that's reminders, right? Like the glass might continuously be half empty, trying to tell me you don't want to do this. But I'm just, and at the end of it, I mean, now, oh, maybe I do have clarity. I don't want to do this. But now I'm in it and I can't get out of it. And now it's like, do I fight? Do I freeze? Do I run? What do I do? How do I get out of this? So even a dream that appears that, it could be good times. It could be, but then it starts shifting. Or there's these little motions that indicate, no, there's something else going on here. And then, whoa, how this dream is making me feel, it could be that conversation that you always wish you had gotten to get closure. In a dream, you continuously are trying to get that conversation going for that closure that you really felt you needed, and it just keeps not coming, keeps not coming, keeps not coming. That's a nightmare of some sort. It's more emotional based. So start identifying, because a lot of people, I think, have dreams and they don't consider them to be some form of nightmare that is based on our emotions. But, and when I say this now, think about that. If you're a person that can remember your dreams, how often is something like that the case? We don't normally have like these beautiful, tropical settings. I'm on the beach and everything's grand, right? Mr. Right or Mrs. Lady Right and is there with me and I'm wearing a crown and I'm perfect and great. That is usually not the case. And it's because your subconscious really truly has your best interest at heart. And there's other reasons for nightmares as well. We're going to talk about, well, no, we're going to talk about that right now because it goes into the next question. Can you identify what is garbage and what needs attention? And what I mean by garbage, and this will be more so in part two, is a big part of the job of the subconscious, especially in your sleep. When I said it's working the most on your behalf, I mean, it's working overtime while we're sleeping because his body gets to rest. Oh, it's lovely. We all understand this. We all know the different brain waves and what's going on. A lot of its job is to filter out garbage, sincerely. To just filter out the garbage so we are not carrying it with us. What I mean by garbage is all of the subliminal messages out there, all that might be going on with the collective. Not saying it's garbage, but we're not going to carry it with us. Because it doesn't pertain to our personal health, development, love, growth, healing, right? Just everything. We've been watching the news a lot, and then all of a sudden this crazy stuff is happening in our dreams. So we do want to start having more discernment of like, is this just garbage? Or is this a true nightmare of mine? So I had a friend who, growing up, wanted to always argue with me that people don't dream in color. And I was like, okay, okay. Because he didn't dream in color. And then he turned like 30 and all of a sudden started having a few colored dreams here and there. Shocked him entirely. So please know that not everybody dreams the same as you. Some it might just be colors, no shapes. Some it might all be black and white. Some there might not be any like sound. Some it's just, some are extremely vivid, some are not. So at one point though, this was a few years ago, it was during COVID. Um, he called me up because he was he was losing it. He had, for him, one of the most vivid dreams he it was the first he had ever experienced like this. It was very action packed. Everything was bright. Everything was colorful, as in like full context of our 3D world. He could see all things. It was running around, dangerous, gun shooting, this happening, that happening, like all sorts of stuff. I can't even remember all of it. And he was freaking out because that had never happened to him before. But as he told me from point A to point B, C, D, how that dream, even though it jumped from here to there to here to there, all of it seemed to me to be a wonky, um, wild way that the subconscious was filtering out all the garbage that was going on at the time. Because when the subconscious is removing the subliminal messages, removing all the stuff that we take in, and we take in, I think it's something in today's world, it's like 20,000 messages a day. When we know it or not, we're taking all of that in. It goes in through the conscious, and the conscience quickly filters through what do we keep, what do we get rid of, and everything that it says get rid of, it gets dumped into the subconscious. And the subconscious is like, damn, please go to sleep. Please go to sleep. I need to do my job. So sometimes when we're having like these wild dreams, running from this, then doing this, then why are these people on stage over here? Then what's going on here in the streets? Then why are people shooting at one? All this stuff that seems to be not interlinking, but yet the speed or the appearance of things does kind of interlink it, but yet it's real choppy. And it's like we're going through it. It could be intense. It could be high intensity, high energy, high emotions even. But yet when we wake up and we get it out in some kind of journal form and we're viewing it again, we can't find where we're associated to this at all. Like at all. When in other nightmares we can associate ourselves. So that could be as simple as your subconscious is working on your behalf and dumping out all the garbage, just filtering it out, getting rid of it. And oftentimes that is happening. That happens at least because we take in 20,000 messages a day. That is going to happen, if not nightly, somewhere in the midst. Like it might start out that way and then it turns into, no, this part is about you. Or if it's not that and you're actually talking to your subconscious, like, hey, I request for you to show me what I need to work on, then if it's not that, then give your subconscious liberty to do so. Don't overwork it because it's already working really hard for you. So with these questions, with the whole, hey, work with your subconscious, this part is for me to iterate. Give your subconscious a break. So like if 2 nights a week you're asking it to demonstrate and show you stuff, then all the other nights let it do its job. Because if it's not able to clear everything out, then that's not going to be healthy for you. Also, how are you supposed to start making any distinctions between what is for you and what is garbage that it's trying to get rid of if you don't give it a break to do its main job? And that is its main job, is to keep you sound and whole and more healthy in the mind. That's its main job. So, the whole self-hypnosis, Ask your subconscious to work with you, not against you. Only do that about twice a week. Everything else, and this is for when you're starting, okay? This is for when you're working through things. Because this also will teach you what to discern between what's yours and what's not. And you need to start making those discernments. Because eventually, like I said, it could be the beginning of a dream, complete garbage. The end of that dream, definitely something you have to pay attention to, or vice versa, or in between all the parts. So, can you identify what is garbage and what needs your attention? If it needs your attention, what did the aspects of the dream symbolize to you? So, if let's say you put a request out there, show me what I need to heal from. Show me what I need to know right now as far as guidance. Show me what I need to know about this situation. If you're able to discern then this is for me or this is garbage and it's something you should pay attention to, well then, what aspects of that dream, what do they mean to you? Because the dream books are great. Now you can just Google stuff. They're great. But there's going to be a lot of stuff that maybe only applies to you. Here's an example. You're having a dream, and definitely you know this is for me. This is for me to understand something that I have to heal from or be aware of, right? And in this dream, there's a lamp, and it goes on and goes off. It goes on, it goes off. It goes on, it goes off. Now, if you looked in a dream book, that's going to give you a, a bunch of different uh, examples as to what it means, right? Which is all fine and well. We use those for extra, right? If we can't come up with our own understanding, well, then, okay, let's go to that for an extra little kick, an extra little boost to maybe fill in all the parts. Kind of like how, let's say you're doing a tarot reading. You use oracle cards to kind of fill in the blanks, right? So the light goes on, it goes off, it goes on, it goes off. I'm asking you to start paying attention to what that would mean for you. So, did you grow up in a household that the light bill was paid? Light on. Light bill wasn't paid. Light off. Paid. Off. Paid. Off. Paid. Off. Well, that's the subconscious saying, hey, that was a lot. You need to pay attention to that. You need to heal that. Because that did cause something within you. Fear of some kind that is probably now associated to some kind of fear that is present of today. Could be fear of lack, right? Fear of survival. I mean, if you can't pay your light bill, that is a survival fear, right? So, I'm not saying don't use dream books. I think they're great. Especially when it's like reoccurring. It's like, I do not get this. I'm really like, what's going on here? Then go to a dream book. But oftentimes, if you're really working with the subconscious, it is trying to give you these little breadcrumbs along the entire way. Even if the rest of the dream is a whole bunch of garbage, breadcrumbs for like, hey, I'm gonna pay attention to this. So like in that dream, I'm gonna use that light, that lamp as an example. There could be a whole bunch of stuff happening in that dream. Lots of movement, lots of communication, lots of different emotions, intensity, lulls, pauses, all sorts of stuff. But if periodically, all of a sudden the lamp in the room, on, off, on, off. And then all of a sudden the dream switches to somewhere else. Now you're in a hotel room in London. The lamp, on, off, on, off. That is that ongoing thread, right? That ongoing thread throughout all scenes, locations, actions, what have you, of a dream, that it's trying to say, pay attention to this. So those things, what do they symbolize to you? To you. You start with you. Ask yourself first, what does that lamp symbolize? What does that random dog symbolize? What does that random, I don't know, bottle of tequila symbolize? I don't know, right? Sounds like one of my dreams, right? What does it symbolize to you, right? So there's one more question that it is on here, and it is a bit about lucid dreaming. So that's why I said towards the end of this, we're going to talk about lucid dreaming. Beloveds, those questions I will type up for you. Use them, please. So as you're journaling, go, like I said, Sunday night, Saturday morning, Friday night, whatever, when you got a pocket of time and you can review your journaling. Have these questions with it of like, oh, how did I respond to that nightmare, which I think actually is a nightmare, right? How do we communicate in dreams? And I want to say this before we continue. Beloveds, your subconscious is working vastly hard on your behalf. So these questions, even though it's all happening in the dream world, can also identify a whole lot of things that are happening in the real world. That's a whole nother topic for a whole nother time. But once you start working within this stuff, you can track. We're all the most intelligent, most bright lights ever. So this question, can you stop your dream and redirect its course as the dream unfolds? As an aspect of lucid dreaming. Can you stop your dream and redirect its course as the dream unfolds? Here's an example. And I honestly, this is a whole lot of what I do. Let's say, I don't do it so much anymore, but when I was young, I constantly had, some kind of serial killer, some kind of bad man is, got me locked up. I escape. He's chasing me, right? It's some kind of chase. I had that a lot when I was a kid. Same scenario over and over again. I'm locked up. I escape. It's chasing me. But even when I was young, I would all of a sudden, wait a minute. This is a dream. I'm not going to run no more. I'm now actually going to go after him. I'm going to take him out, right? That is a whole lot of how I dreamt when I was, especially a teenage, tween and teen. It was just that constantly is how I dreamt. With different scenarios all the time. Of like, now I'm going to take you out. This is not about you chasing me. Now I'm chasing you. That's how I would use that gift, right? Lucid dreaming, somewhat of a gift if it's natural to you. But can it be developed? Oh, most definitely. That is going to be part 2. Okay, so we're not going to get into how to develop that right now because all of this stuff that I presented to you leads into being able to develop the gift of lucid dreaming, okay? So, but if you're doing that already, that is one way to find out if you are. Are you capable of stopping your dream and redirecting the course as it unfolds. Cool. This is what you're doing. When you're capable of stopping your dream and then redirect it, however that might be, it could be like, I don't want to experience any of this anymore. Put me on a beach. You know, I don't want to even be a part of any of this. We're going to move myself all the way somewhere else, right? If you're doing that already, that is an aspect to lucid dreaming. What lucid dreaming is when your consciousness all of a sudden connects with your subconsciousness and vice versa. That's when, if you stop, whoa, wait a minute, I got way more power here than I think, because why? I'm dreaming. This is my dream. I can do whatever the hell I want with it. That's when your consciousness, your everyday consciousness, you, in a dream, so your subconscious all of a sudden meet. And it goes, do I want this? And sometimes you might stop and go, yeah, I like what's going on here. Let's see what happens. So it doesn't always have to be bad. It could be, I like what's going on, right? Let's keep rolling this tape. It's when it stops because it meets. Now, those who develop the gift of lucid dreaming, that can be an always. That can be an always. So, uh, I'll give you this personal story. And there's other aspects to lucid dreaming as well. Like I said, we're going to talk about that in part 2. But I do want to say this because it was so endearing, and it just happened like a week ago. My husband woke up from a nap and he was totally, whoa, what's, Courtney, something weird happened, something weird happened. Which my husband is like a natural dream worker within other related gifts. Part 2. Um, and I was like, okay, what happened, babe? Because yeah, he was thrown off, way thrown off, because I guess it never happened to him before. Which I was surprised because he's so gifted. He is a natural dream worker. And he started talking basically about that particular aspect of lucid dreaming, of that he was completely aware that he was laying in bed asleep and that he was inside of a dream. He was completely conscious while operating within his subconscious. Freaked the boy out. And I'm sitting here and I'm taking it all in, and I just was like, oh, sweetheart, that's how I sleep every night. That is literally how I dream pretty much all the time. I am fully conscious that I am in a dream. I actually appreciate and I request for my subconscious to not interact with my consciousness occasionally because I just want to get the full pleasure of having a dream without me being conscious within it. So when you hear people talk about that, that is my normal. That is my normal. Every night. I am fully aware that I am sleeping. I am fully aware that my consciousness and subconscious are playing this out together. Right? I'm making the decisions. We're doing this together. Freaked my husband out though. He was like, I don't know if I liked that. But it's like, and I thought that was funny. That's why I kind of bring it up because that is most people's goals. So, and he's like, I don't like that at all. So, understand in part 2, we're going to talk a lot more about lucid dreaming, if it's even needed, why would it be needed, and how much do you want to do of it? How much do you want to develop of it? Because, like I said, for him, he didn't like it at all. For me, I don't know any different. To the point, beloveds, that, gosh, by the time I was a young adult, so like 18, 19, young adult, it was a matter of like, I could be sleeping on the couch. I'm in a dream. I wake up off the couch. Oh, I'm still in a dream. Oh, I then wake up off the couch. I'm still in a dream. I wake up off the couch. I'm still in a dream. To the point that my consciousness and subconscious was going layers of deep, 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 deep of riding the lucidness. The lucidness. That each time I supposedly would wake up on the couch, but no, I'm still awake and I'm aware, or I'm still dreaming and I'm aware of it. It would be, this is the top layer. Let's go deeper. Let's go deeper. The entire time I'm aware that somewhere my physical body is sleeping on a couch, but I can have the potential of going 6, 7 deep into each time I know I'm laying on a couch inside of each dream. I'm on the couch. I'm on the couch, right? Physical body, the body you see right now, laying on the couch, dreaming, dreaming, and seeing myself sleeping on the couch. Seeing myself sleeping on the couch, I get up and I have an entire dream that I know is not real. And then I wake up, apparently. Nope, still asleep. Go a layer deep, drop. Okay, this dream just got a little bit more wild. A little bit more wild. Okay, do it again. I woke up and I'm dreaming. But no, the real Courtney is levels above really truly laying on the couch. I can do that. That is a form of lucid dreaming that you can keep going deeper and deeper and deeper into the subconscious. So there's a lot of things that we can do. And I now I understand the, gosh, I might have sounded like a hypocrite because I often call myself, I say I'm not a dream worker when that is a part of dream work, but it's solely for myself. When other aspects of dream workers is can help others. I don't help others within their dream. So that's why I say that. Uh, we all have the potential of that. We all have the potential to utilize, to obtain, utilize, grow, and develop the gift of lucid dreaming solely based on taking care of ourselves, healing ourselves, loving ourselves, understanding ourselves, connecting the conscious and the subconscious in ways that most people are unaware of. Once again, part two. And in part two, like I just said, there's other dream workers out there that they can do a lot of stuff to actually help others. So, this was probably a lot, and that's why I said at the very beginning when I went to sit down to do this, I kind of put it off for a minute because I could potentially just keep going and going and going and rattling. But I think this is probably definitely enough to start with. This is the how, all the questions, the journaling, the self hypnosis techniques, all of that, right? Repeat 3 times at least, all of that. When the next part two is going to be the why. And yeah, folks, as you know, beloved patrons, I will probably just start rattling and hopefully it will be live between us so questions can start filtering through. I love you all so dearly. Happy New Year. Happy New Year, everybody. Yes. Maybe gift yourself the opportunity to start recording your dreams. What a perfect time, right at the new year, to do so. Love y'all. Cheers.